Crowy here. Welcome to our lounge pod. This is a bit more of a Sunday school one, a bit more of a teaching session about the deity that is the Ford Lord, aka Josh Ford, running us through CapCut. So this is a session we did in our platform, and he's just gonna lay out, how to edit videos, how to throw songs over it, and how to sort of build, because Instagram and socials is such a huge part of your brand. So, if you don't have the money to spend on an external source doing this stuff, you might want to bring some of it in-house or all of it in-house or a little bit in-house, whatever. So I'm going to give you the skills to pay the bills. We're not professional editors, but the random punter can learn a lot from this. And have a watch the session. It's way more of a watch and learn sesh. It's, do you have a computer in front of you? Yes, no, maybe. If you're an editor and you're like, hey, there's a Heath better way to do this, reach out, send us a vid, and I'll post it up, because we're always about helping people. And whatever you're doing out there, our ethos is pretty clear. We want you to work hard, which you're probably doing. The whole town knows you're working hard. We want you to work smart, because there's no point working hard if you're not working smart. We want you to be kind, because there's no point doing either if you're a dickhead. We want you to get results, because there's no point working hard, working smart, and being kind if you're not getting results. It's incredibly important. Make money, build wealth is our ethos here, and that's a huge part of running a business. And we want you to go together. So we want you we want to build that community of Sparkies that look out for each other, that care for each other, and we're super passionate about that. And another shout out to our live event. We're going to do another live event coming up this February in the Gold Coast, start of Feb. So reach out if you want some more details. But that was such a great time of connection, community, bonding, teaching, learning, bonding in a PG way, of course. No extracurricular activity that I know about or that I want to know about. But rock on, have the best day ever, have the best week ever, and tell someone you love them. Peace. See you guys soon. Bye.
What?
Sparky Coach Lounge Pod with some special in-person guest, the big dog himself, Dave Willman.
How are ya?
How are ya?
How are ya?
And the bigger dog, would you say?
Yeah.
Yes.
The biggest dog?
Confirmed.
Heath. Heath Nut.
The big dog.
From hspark Electrical.
Yeah. How do you go with the hspark or the capitals? I know you're pretty pedantic on the law.
No, I go horrendously. It's hspark. And when people say hspark, it grinds my gears.
Grinds your gears. That's
Yeah.
Change the spelling.
Well, I just don't understand. Hey? No, it's H space Spark Electrical and ASICs, but we can't do that in the vans because that would make no sense. On the fleet, like it doesn't. It's just all capitals.
So is the S silent or not?
Hey?
No,
It's Spark.
Now, Heath, you just finished a petrol station.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost.
Almost?
Yeah.
I've never done one. Like, you're first, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we didn't do any of the, I guess, hazardous areas. Yeah, that was all done by like a contractor that does all that. But yeah, we just done essentially the internal fit out, which was funny enough, like, I guess, easier than we thought. But it's probably the neatest fuel station you ever see wired, like essentially, because like everything around like catenaries everywhere, like yeah. You actually
I came for a visit and was.
You actually be happy. You know how we spoke about we got the cables down the wall, and you said, "Oh, we should have cable trayed it." Well, like last minute, I said to Nick, "Rip it out. Like don't put the board on, rip it out and cable tray it." So we did. I couldn't like where the cables come out, where we had to get a custom switchboard made. And just wasn't gonna. I was like, nah. I was like, spend a day putting all the cables out, and then we done cable tray, and it was so much better.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, add complexity. The service there's not enough supply there. So are you doing?
Yeah. So the issue with that site they've got is that they have 63 amp supply. It started with, hey, we want to put a fuel station, maybe some factories later, do maximum demand. Long story short, they come back and said, oh, like, you got 63 amps. Like, our level 2 sorted it all out, said, oh, you got 63 amps. Like, you can't really do much. They said, okay, well, we'll start the project. We said, you probably shouldn't do that because like, these things take a while. Long story short, they've now subdivided it into 3 lots because they own the whole thing. They're getting like a 400 amp upgrade. That's not for another 6 months. Fuel station's done. So we know that maximum demand's like going to be about 130 amps. Obviously, on a really bad day, I guess, and that's not it's not taking into account that like it's probably never going to hit that peak because just people don't use everything at once. But what we've had to do is actually get a split chassis switchboard that was made by ABB, and then work out all our maximum demands on like 63 amps and 63 amps, split chassis, which is currently connected. If they say, okay, we're tripping main switches, like we'll log it once we turn it on. And then if we have to, we have another 63 amp circuit ran from outside. That's like I guess it's an external plug that will plug into a BESS system, and the BESS system will run half of the store, and then the mains from the street will run the other half of the store until they get the 400 amp upgrade. Then 160 amps will get pulled in, main switchboard, disconnect, like connect the bus bar back up, and then we're all good. So it's been a bit complex, but yeah, it's just like we also have to they have to get running. Like we can't wait 6 months.
Just can use one cashier at a time or something.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Yeah,
I just let everything melt.
It's interesting because two things. Anyone listening, if you're doing commercial work or something you're going to add in later, I know it might look neater to pull everything down the wall and pop it out neatly, but the reality is they're going to add circuits. So just make sure you oversize your boards. Use metal boards. I'm going to say I see too many people on Insta using plastic boards, but they should be metal. I don't know what you guys think about that, but you see this chassis, like chalked out 36 pole, and I'm like, mate, get a metal chassis. Like it looks so much better. It's so much easier to work with. Yeah, it's a bit more expensive, but you'll save that on the labor. Anyway, but cable tray, neat cable ties for future proofing. That's one thing I think starting out in business and being young and keen and green, you got to look 10 years down the track. I think that's the benefit of running and being around for, how old are you guys? 41, same as me?
34.
No, I'm kidding. 34.
34.
How old are you? Yeah, so it's like after you've been in the industry for like 20 years or so, you realize how much those commercial places, we're going to add this circuit in here.
We've already got 4 variations for different circuits. But there also is a rule for any new install that you have to have a certain percentage. I don't know the exact percentage.
30,
but yeah, 20 to 30% extra space. So, like, if you got 36 circuits, do not put a 36 pole board in. You know what I mean?
And just oversize. Oversize is the dream. And so that's interesting. And what were you mentioning before? Unless you were talking about something. I was going to go down that path. Forgot.
The best.
Keep going back to that petrol station.
Okay. Well, we have the split chassis board.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got it. Max demand. What is the actual go? Because, if you did it on paper, on the app, or even just via Excel spreadsheet, whatever, it goes to some nuts amount. But I know when we're, I don't know what it is now, but back, they take a data logging. So we had a data logger. I don't know. I want to get your 2 cents on that. We have one of those Kyoki ones, and we just leave it on for a week and submit that, as Ausgrid would accept that as a max demand. Is that still the case with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are
there's 4 methods? There's no way that I'm going to pick them, but measurement was one of them. Calculation was one. There's like 2 others.
Yeah.
That you can use for max demand.
And talk us through your data logging. You just pick one up from what brand is it? Give us a spiel.
I bought it before the end of the 2024 financial year.
Yeah.
So I just started the business and I was subcontracting. I was very busy, and it was a week before, and I bought a 1777 to power and the light up. So it's one step up from the data logger.
Yeah. What's the difference?
So I think you got the
1738.
38?
Yeah.
So one will do everything that his does, but I think mine will do like transient voltages, harmonics, like some higher end stuff that you probably don't really need, but when you need to check on some of that stuff, like it's the item that you've got to get.
Yeah.
For power logging, max demand, that's all you need, but it's also probably twice the price.
Yeah.
And I've got one potential client wants me to come and use it and leave it on. They've got some really bad harmonics in the factory, so I'm just trying to take that up. But
yeah, and for anyone listening, just out the window screaming WTF is harmonics, maybe they fell asleep through 30 a tape or whatever. What are you talking about?
So it's when you've got AC waveforms and they're interacting with each other, and they can spike up. So it's a little hard to explain without drawing a diagram, which I'm not going to do.
I'm not getting it.
I'm thinking like Matt Damon, Good Will Hunting. If we could just like, yeah.
But I think it's sort of when waveforms are lining up to be much higher for like a second. So when you've got a lot of VSDs, a lot of electronic
Compressors and that.
that can, and what it does, like there's ways to manage it, like with the newer power factor fraction unit. But yeah, again, I'm not smart enough to know about all that, but I just give an engineer the sheet, especially for harmonics, like loading and power logging, that's no issue. But I just put all the stuff in a report and send it away, and they do the analysation.
Cool. And what are you guys charging to rent that out for a week or whatever if someone wanted?
I charge, I think I charge like it's like $200 a day essentially. So it's like, say it's like $1,000 for a week, but they could do 7 days and I'm not going to charge, you know what I mean? I'm not going to charge for the weekend. But we've just actually recently started doing a $280 or $300 setup fee. So we'll set it up and pack it down because I have people take it, pay me $1,000, get it back, and they didn't record anything. And I'm not going to say, oh, that's okay, like do it again. Like it's
no, we need
someone
names.
else might need it.
Like,
that's my mates.
Yeah.
So he's just like, and like you can go to like a higher place. I don't want to say names because I don't know exactly, but I know a couple. But you can go there; they'll charge you more. They won't set it up. And like you got to drive there, get it, take it off, take it back, and then you get all the stuff sent over. Like it's not the reason I started setting them up. I'm like, well, just give me the site, sign the thing that you're happy with it. I'll go set it up. I'll go pack it down. If I stuff it up, it's on me. It's not on you. So I feel like that added sort of setup fee and whatnot. Like people just go, yeah, that's fine. Just do that because
that's what I used to do. It's actually sales wise a great way to mask how much it is per week as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So instead of saying that's $1,200, like I think sometimes people can go it's $1,200 and then not actually articulate what's included, but you're way better off saying it's $700 and there's a $250 setup and a $250 pack down.
Pack down.
And then everyone's like, oh, I see how you got to $1,200 rather than just it's almost quoting 101. You know, it's actually really interesting. So we used to charge a setup, pack down, and then but no reporting fee. But I think ours was around $1,000, but that was also 1994 as well.
Yeah, and if
but
they're
amazing units, right?
Yeah, if they do 2 weeks, like that's the other thing. Like if they do 2 weeks, I don't go, oh, $2,000 plus setup plus this. I'm like, oh, it will reduce. You know what I mean? Like obviously as long as no one else wants it, which it's barely booked out at the same time. But yeah, like if someone does, I think one of my mates just asked for 2 weeks, and I said, all right, well, $1,000 for the first week, $700 for the second week, and then we'll set it up. You know what I mean? It's like one setup fee, one pack down. So say it's $2,000 for us to come in and go, set it up, you get it for 2 weeks, then we'll rip it down and we'll whatever. And that's a bit more, they're inclined to be like, oh yeah, I might as well do 2 weeks then instead of 1 week, because sometimes 1 week also might not be enough.
What? Yeah, we used to do a week at a time. I think that's what Osgood wanted at the time.
Yeah, they want a week.
Yeah, with this bakery. It was 200 amp supplies, and then it was but like separate tenancies that had a hole in the wall basically. Then they cut another hole in the wall and had a cafe, and they cut another hole in the wall and bought the factory behind them with a 400 amp supply. And it was like, I think once a year we'd sort of go around and just log it because they used to add so much stuff. You know what cafes are like?
Oh yeah, bakeries, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's like if you're doing cafe work or bakery work, just run, and you're doing in the kitchen, just run a circuit for pretty much every PowerPoint you see, because they're going to go and change that to a 15 amp toaster.
They just leave them on all the time as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing you don't think about. Beyond, like their commercial grade toasters.
Yeah.
They're on the whole time. That's how you get your toast in 2 minutes.
It's like those Stiebel Electron, those instantaneous water. When they say they draw 32 amps, and they literally, if you tong it, it's literally 32 amps.
Yeah.
Like just a turbo. Like as soon as it turns on, bang, 32. But yeah, cool. And Willman, logging thoughts? Like, do you rent it out? Do you charge it? How do you charge it? Similar nature?
It's an interesting thing. I think
he's like exactly what Heath said. Send me that.
Yeah. I'm 10% cheaper than Heath.
I think what Heath said is perfect if it's logging, but if you go and because I can use it for logging as well. So you probably should charge a little less. Now, it's just because it's the tool that I've got. But I think if they want like harmonics, transients, like all of those extra things that the power analyzer gives you, it should be a bit more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was thinking for this factory, I'd probably charge about $2,500 for the week.
Yeah.
Like, set up and, but the reporting as well, the reporting takes me a bit of time. So,
And I had to buy a completely different computer, load it on, because I'm Apple. I had to buy a completely different computer, load it all on. Like, it's not just, you know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, it's a, like, and then people go, oh, just send it to me, I'll do it. Like, you can't do it. Like, I have to have the Fluke disk, like, loaded up, open it up, save it, go through it, like, make sure everything's sweet. And then I essentially, like, screenshot everything, make it look nice, and then send it off.
It's so interesting because I'm just flashing to all the Instagram lords going like, I never break down a price and stuff. And I just think if you've got good clients, it's so much easier to break down a price sometimes. Go like, think about to rent something out for $4,000 might be, $4,000. But when it's $2,500 of, logger hire, $300 setup, $300 setup, and like a, I don't know, $800 report, you can be like, oh, cool. That makes sense. You split it out really easily. And it's much more easier to communicate. So, yeah, quoting advice to anyone listening, if you can't communicate it, how'd you get to that figure is always.
And I do have like with the logger, like if people do something, I'm like, okay, $800 and just pick it up. And they come and like I've had people come pick it up, so how do I do it? I'm like, well, just check YouTube. And then like, oh, how do I get the report? Oh, you're gonna have to find the Fluke disk. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and they're like, oh, nah, you do it. Like it's. Yeah, I have done that. I'm like, but, and it's like, all right, we'll take it for $800, and I'll make better money anyway.
Well, interesting because we were like, this is so different. I mean, not saying you guys aren't in Sydney, but kind of not, right? Like you're not in this.
No, I'm not in the city. No,
we used to do a lot of eastern suburbs work, and it's so different because I do a lot of obviously coaching with Australia wide, but running a business in a city is so different to running a business with a bit more removed. There's just access to more people.
Yeah.
And more people usually means like better prices, usually, because there's more competition.
Yeah.
Not always, and you can separate yourself in the market, but we had this guy that would he'd come through and he ended up doing our data logging eventually. And when I sold the business, I actually gave him the data log and he continued logging for us. Legend dude, but he was doing it like I couldn't do that at raw cost for what he was doing it for. And I was like, well, you do that then.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's so interesting. Any more thoughts on data logging?
Just the reporting. The reporting takes heaps of time. I've always undercooked how long it's going to take me to do the report.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon? Like if it's just a classic logger?
For me, I reckon a good like 2 hours, like 2-3 hours of like at least just putting on the thing, ripping it off, breaking it up, checking it myself, and then like, putting it sort of in like a PDF form and then writing an email about it, what I think about it and what I suggest. But it's always like suggestive. I'm not saying do it, but like I suggest this.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, I recommend. A good 3 hours, and that's definitely, you definitely like don't think of that, which is hence why I started doing like the like set up and pack down fee kind of thing. Because if it takes us 40 minutes to get there, that's literally a 20-minute setup, and then we're on to the next job, 0.75.
0.75, anyone listening, that's a small. I actually force everyone to add that onto a small job. We used to have a small job travel fee because my theory was like, you can, and this is, I want to dive into this for a second to the listener. If you've got an 8-hour day, you can do an 8-hour job, you can work for 8 hours. But, if you do small jobs, you might get 3 2-hour jobs, or 5 1-hour jobs, and someone's got to cover the travel. Now, you can do that 2 ways. I know, if you're not going to go too far without seeing a coaching ad on Instagram or something like that. Usually they'll charge a really high rate, but they're getting less hours in, or they're budgeting your overhead costs to an efficiency, so it pushes your rate up too high. In other words, they're going, oh, well, you're only getting 6 hours a day, not 8. And the other option is have a lower rate, and that's an option. I'm not saying that's not an option. The other option is have a lower rate but have more minutes. So you can get a more minute by adding a call-out fee, service fee. We used to call it a small job travel fee. We had an hour to all our small jobs under 8 hours. It was very easy to communicate. It was very easy to break down. I got to a point where it was super interesting. Like I remember the moment we left Betty's house. I don't know what her name was. Probably Betty, Susie or something like that. And then sent an invoice, and she's like, "You guys left at 9:45, not 9:30." And I was like, "Oh yeah, but we had to get to the next job." And it's just so. I found that almost dishonest. Like just sneaking an extra. No, you're not sneaking. It's like, well, you've got to get that money somehow. But I found it easiest to charge for time on site if it's a cost plus job, and then add your small job travel fee. So much easier.
Yeah.
0.75.
Yeah.
Continue on. Oh, you're chasing as well. Do you guys chase much?
Chase.
Like
Oh yeah. We have like
you have a chaser?
how I work.
Do you rent that too?
Yeah, in my brain, it's like if I use something, I buy it because I just so I have a scissor lift, a chaser, vacuum, giant hammer drill, like huge hammer drill, the logger, the EV tester.
What's that? I mean, I never really got into it.
Add-on, people put in EVs and they're like, turn it on, they go, oh yeah, plug your car in. But it doesn't actually prove anything's wrong with the EV. You got to load it. Like if you load that EV charger with the EV and something goes wrong, I don't know what could happen. So we actually plug it into what would we plug it in?
Is it a fluke?
It's a fluke. It's a fluke EV thing, and it adapts into our.
Goes into a multifunction tester.
Yeah, multifunction tester.
You can tell the charger to charge.
Yeah. Through
that tester attachment, and you can actually see.
Load it.
You can see what's going on.
So you're putting it under test conditions.
Yeah, without putting $100,000 car into it.
I think if you plug the charge plug into the car, the car tells the charger, open up, let me have the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have issues.
But you can't just poke your prongs into the plug and test for voltage.
Because you've got no load. So people plug it in and think it's actually it's in the warranty of the cars. If that EV charger is not being tested and that blows up your car, it's no warranty. Because it's actually on the Sparky to test it. And I lost many a job because they're going, oh, let's just say, oh, you're an extra $300. Oh, okay, are they testing it? Oh, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, do they have the proper, the proper fluke or whatever EV tester to load it? Oh, I'm not sure, but they said they can test it. And I'm like, they probably don't have it. I knew, because as soon as we started doing EV chargers, I called up my wholesaler, C&W, and I said, get me the thing. And he goes, oh, I've never had anyone ask for this. And I'm like, sweet.
You're a C&W guy too, you? Who do you use?
Yeah. Yeah.
Same branch. Actually.
Same branch. Benny.
How far away do you guys live?
20 minutes, 15.
Cool.
15 in the cruisers.
Yeah.
Cruiser.
Yeah. 25 minutes. Yeah.
15 in my cruiser, it's probably 12 in it.
Yeah.
Oh, 10.
It's probably half an hour in Wendy.
Yeah.
Wendy's my 60 series cruiser, my third child.
So going back to the chaser.
Yeah.
I bought everything because one of the things I hated was the fact of I felt like it was lost time when the boys go and pick something up and drop it off. And there's many times with the scissors where the boys are racing back to get it there and they don't get there. And then they charge me for overtime, which is 100% fair enough.
Yeah.
And they've got to take the scissor the next day. So I just said, no way. We were spending $20,000 a year on scissors and my scissor cost me 23. And now they can just take it whenever they want. It's been on this job for 3 months, and I'd obviously rent that out too.
It's such a in the Beast Estimator we have the other revenue streams, and it's such a you see people dry hire diggers, and we used to we used to rent our chaser out. Obviously, a quota job is a quota job. If you can get it done quicker, good for you. But we'd rent our chaser out out to the cost plus jobs. I think whatever you could walk into, I don't know, Coates Hire or Kennards or something. I think it was $160 a day.
Yeah.
160 for 4 hours, whatever. So we'd be like, sweet, we'll rent that out. It's such a good way to make money, make an additional bit of extra revenue stream.
Yeah.
But also, you're replacing blades, replacing machines, replacing vacuums, buying bags. It's not free money, but it's can be free money a little bit.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I feel like it's so much easier to, go well on those jobs because you got all this chasing to do, but you have your own chaser. You rent it out, but every other Sparky is going to hire one anyway and rent and just add a percentage on top. Where I feel like when you have your own, it's just so much.
It's not.
Yeah, and it's not flogged and.
The blades are going to be. You got some spare ones in the box.
And that's the issues I've had with scissors. I've got scissors, and not long ago, would have been 4 weeks ago. I won't say who I got it from because they're my boys, but I called him and I'm like, man, I'm stuck on this scissor. I can't get down. I swear I couldn't get down. I had to climb it. I was 6 meters up and I had to climb off. My mate's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what am I going to do? It wouldn't go at all. We had to emergency pull it out. It come down, then it worked for the rest of the day. But then we were scared the whole day to go up higher because I was terrified.
That's so
Like,
scary.
fully locked out. Like, we were up there for a good 25 minutes. And he's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I'm going to have to get down. He was a bigger boy. So I was like, I'll go. You're not going. But
My shoulders wouldn't have handled that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you hold on. That's for sure. So,
Well, there's no choice. I remember being first year apprentice and we had first time on a scissor and I was just watching like the spotter basically and had my hand resting on it. And I remember the tradie like randomly goes, I'm coming down, your hand's on it, is it? And I was like, yeah. And it would have like fully crushed my hand. And I'm like, how dumb is that? But crazy. Willman, what's the latest in you in Willman Electrical?
I have an employee.
Yeah, give him a shout out.
Yeah, Trav.
Shout out to Trav.
Trav
He's
the
been
gun.
looking after the business while I've been away.
How does that?
He did Friday, Saturday, he's doing tomorrow.
That's cool.
Weapon.
It's such a different.
I don't know if he listens to this, but you're a weapon, bro.
Yeah, I'll send it to him. That must have been a really good feeling. That's probably your first time like going away and someone's taking care of something, and you're still sort of able to earn money and produce revenue while you're away. So
I think it's actually really good because it's been since he started. Like I've pretty well been working with him like the whole time, and I was his tradesman when he was the first year. So it's I think this is probably really good like for him to be in charge. And I've had some subbies help him out as well. Like over the weekend, I've got 3 different ones actually. So there's a new guy tomorrow, so he's just running the job, looking after everything.
And is that high-end resi one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? What's happening at that job? Give us what's going on.
So there's like some designers involved with that. It's pretty like everything is fiddly. All the downlights are set into the ceiling. All the like track lights are set into the ceiling. Like we've got to do all this extra work. Like if I quoted the job with a sort of per point rate, I would have had to times it by 5 for each one of these lights because there's so much fiddling around with everything.
They all Dali?
Yeah.
So
I got them to change it actually.
Yeah.
Because it was funny. Another funny segue, but the LED downlights that they supply, they're GU10s, which is outdated as it is. But they supplied ones that were 240. We had single insulation coming off the back of the GU10 connector. I was like, these aren't compliant. I told the designer, they'd be like, oh, we've been using these for 10 years. No one's ever said anything. I'm like, why aren't these Sparkies like raising this with, like it's a spec light, but you still need to inspect it. You're signing it off. Anyway, but yeah, they're all set in the ceiling, so it's very difficult. I got them to change the lights to Dali because the owner's pretty particular. He's a techie guy. He did some of the C-bus control in his house. They retrofitted it. And so we're keeping the C-bus. Ryleck's given us a hand with that. And he's doing some of the security and access control stuff as well, helping us out with that. I'll run the cables for him.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's a big job though.
That's great. And yeah, if you're listening to this, high-end residential, it's its own beast. If you can get out of a quote and into cost plus, it's in everybody's best interest for a high-end resi, especially a renovation. Essentially, my whole theory is if it's predictable, you quote it. If it's unpredictable, you proceed in a different route. And it's interesting. I want to talk to you guys about this too. I'll come back to the Dali thing. Dali is essentially it dims off the 0 to 10 volts, so there's no womping. Which in the high-end resi, they don't want to see any disco womping of anything. So yeah, get in touch with Tommy from Ryleck if you're in Sydney. Absolute lord on the automation front. How have you found him to work with?
Really good, actually. Yeah. I went to his showroom. The client, I told the client about him because I rang him up. He gave me some answers over the phone, and I was like, oh, it's exactly like some of the systems that he had, some of his apps. It's exactly what the client wanted. I was like, mate, all right, this is my boy. Go to the showroom. He's got a full setup. You can go and feel the switches on the wall. So that day, I actually went out to visit Tommy beforehand, and then my client sort of showed up. He went through everything. I just wanted to record over Rob, the client's shoulder, because Tommy just sold everything. Like he's an absolute whiz on the sales. Not pushy or anything, but he was just explaining all the different options. And it would have been a great ad for his business, but it was just a little weird. with my phone.
Yeah,
while
you and
Star's recording.
You and your GoPro, like, leaning over. It's like, that Simpsons episode where Homer's got that big hat with a camera in it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, actually, you know what's interesting? Let's talk about sales for a second. Because I think when your product's good and you know what you're talking about, I think there is that fact. I don't know, it's not game recognizes game, because that's not what I'm talking about, but it kind of is. It's just like when you walk into a room and someone chats, you can kind of tell if they're good or not. You guys will be on the same page with that. And if you're not good, or if you can only fake it for so long. I had someone the other day listen to our podcast, and he's like, "Oh, I liked you because you were sort of consistent over years." I was like, "Yeah, that's a full compliment to us." But yeah, so like, but sales. How do you guys approach sales? Do you like what is do you have a tactic, something you go to? I'll start. My theory was honesty, transparency, recommendation. Like, don't be scared to recommend. I got trapped in I think when I can get along with people well, it's probably like it's a good thing. But I could also walk out thinking that I had the job when in fact I just built a rapport and connection, which I can do with anyone, really. Yeah. Like, it's almost a gift. And then so you might have that. So don't get trapped in the best friend matrix, and then you might not have the job. And then a couple of mistakes I made early on was trying to include too much when the client's like, yeah, that, and they end up boosting and the quote's massive. And I'm like, that's what they wanted, but they didn't really, if I had articulated the cost there. And the other one was being disorganized, like the quote's coming way too late or behind the 8 ball, and you kind of lose it from that. But yeah, one of my go-to lines in a board was always like, "Oh, you'll find someone to tap into that, but not us. Like, you'll find someone that won't upgrade this, but we don't want to do that." And I felt like that was really good because it was true. Yeah. It's like, I actually won't tap that in. Yeah. And it only happened one time when I came back and someone like tapped the aircon circuit into the most sketchiest asbestos, like resi board. And I'm like, thank God, because I wasn't doing that.
No.
But how do you go, Willman, how do you approach like sales? How did you land that job? How do you go about communicating? Give us some hot tips. And
yeah, that job, I got that job through a Sparky that I met years ago doing other projects, and he was he does dry fire primarily. He's an older fella. He's probably like a few years from retirement, and he's been working with his builder for 30 years. And I spoke to Nick, the builder. He said I'm the third Sparky he's used in like that whole time. And Sam would have given me a very warm in to him. And yeah, I met him on a job. I helped Sam out for a couple of days, just doing some LED strips for him. And yeah, that was it.
And how did you go about like meeting and then getting? Was there any push from you, or was it sort of organic, or did you ask?
It was pretty organic, actually. Yeah, he said, man, I've got, because he gets a little frazzled on these residential jobs. His team, they're good at wrapping in fire. They're putting fingerprints on the ceiling of finished homes, like
classic.
Yeah.
It's
like they just want the right guys for it. And Sam's very particular, but you don't need to be super particular when you're slapping cables through roofs, like roughing in at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, and industrial, and your hands are black, and your face is black. You look like Zoolander.
Yeah, so
with a black lung.
This particular job, he just didn't have the time for. He was finishing one off, and they also built Nick's house, and that was on Grand Designs. It's a sick house. It's out in the Blue Mountains. So, so he finished that off, and he's like, I just don't have time for this. And the job that I'm doing now started as a kitchen and bathroom reno, and now they're ripping the front off the house. Like, they are doing everything. They've leveled the floors, they're dropping the ceiling, like, it's out of control. So it was like for me, I just told him, there's no way that I can quote this. Like, not in a million years. We're just going to do it cost plus. And he was okay with that. And he's like, well, I'm doing that too. It's all good.
Cool. Yeah.
It just wasn't, he couldn't quote it either. Because he just keeps adding stuff. And, so I'm just keeping detailed notes of what I'm doing every day. And he's just passing the cost along.
Yeah, my advice, anyone listening, cost plus, The invoices have to go out Monday morning from last week. There has to be a Monday, July 7, jobs completed, hours, and then this is what I did. You separate your materials. Don't lump some of your materials because it end up being 10 grand and there'll be question about that. But once again, there's going to be 0 questions over 10 lots of $1,000. So you can put your margin on it and lump it as one amount. It's a bit of extra work to get it to that point, but you just have to do what you have to do. Don't forget, anyone putting a margin on, you're looking for minimum 20, maximum. Someone asked me what a good margin was the other day, and I'm like, more. So, but probably cost plus is 20 to 40% margin, depending on what it is.
Depending on what it is, yeah.
Is it a coupling? Is it like 1,000 meters of 2.5? So, and then don't forget the stock from car. So usually you're just getting stuff out of the car, using it. So put that as a separate item. But the more you can separate and itemize it out, the more it'll be very easy to read. People get stuck on invoices when it's late because cost plus, right? With you and Trav there, you can rack up probably a 15, 20 grand bill in a week, like pretty comfortably with a bunch of materials. So let's call it 10 grand. So in 5 weeks' time, it's $50,000 invoice. It's much different to paying 5, 10. So yeah, for anyone listening, laid out that, get the invoice out, get it completed. So pushing it at cost plus, and it's going good. Like, what stage is it at now?
We've had some jip rockers starting, which is just adding a lot of pressure because they're battening out some jip rockers work so quick. It's such a good job to smash like heaps of work.
Yeah, the smash bash crash.
But we sort of we needed them there. I wanted them there for like a little bit and then go away for a week so we could like keep up with them, but we're not really keeping up. So where we had to like really push was the kitchen downstairs where there's that's a double story, so you can't do anything once the jip rock's up. Like I told the guys, I was like, look, I don't want to cut any holes if we can avoid it. So let's just give me some time down here.
You said that with a hammer in your hand, just happened. It's happening. Yeah.
And then I come up to Queensland for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Great time.
You guys good. You know what? There's no good time to have a holiday. Yeah. Hey, cost plus, best handled, high-end resi, just leave people there for full time.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you got to handle it. So you cut out as they sheet, not straight behind them. That'd be pretty weird. Up the same ladder, just hands on hips kind of vibe. But yeah, I think that's the cleanest way to do it because so much changes, chops, adds, subtracts. Yeah. You just got to be there and know the stuff. So that's really cool. That's awesome. Great job to be chipped into. Yeah. Good job for Trav too.
Great job for Trav. He's half an hour away.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty close to him. So
that's such a dream.
It's going to be his job soon. I keep telling him, but I'm still going there with him. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And what is what's your next hire, you reckon? An apprentice or what are you thinking?
Probably an apprentice. Just talk to you about it and how it balances out the the overhead.
Yeah, as long as your apprentice is billable, which the high-end resi, they're going to walk straight into a billable job, which is going to please the calculator gods very much. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. And what do you see? It's kind of early days, but like, what do you see as the future for Willman Electrical? Like, what are you excited? What are you excited to do with the company? Like, I know it's hard to say because it's going to chop and change like that. This time next year, like, what was you hoping to be sitting here?
Oh, if I hired an apprentice, I'd like this to all be around next year at this point.
Yeah.
No, look, hanging out with these guys is like pretty pumps me up. So everyone's got rip-roaring businesses in this group, so it pushes you along. So I've just got to line up a good few work streams next year, and I've got a few this is going to happen, but there's no definites. And this house will fight us through probably January pretty easily, me and Trav, and then I really need to go hard on the sales.
Yeah, what are you going to do for that? What are you thinking?
I've called heaps of people, but I haven't been following up much because I've been so busy on the Sydney water stuff that I was doing before.
Classic.
Yeah.
And that just finished just as they literally put pedal to the metal on this job because the clients moved out. They were living in for a long time, so we were going to we always had to keep a bathroom operational. So the job was on like a proper go slow. But they want to do like a wedding in December. So it's like crazy for the next 6 weeks. They want some lights on. I can't do the switchboard upgrade yet. You know, it's going to be a massive job as well. So I'm just going to have to slap it together to try and get like some lights on, and you know, I've got to fit off some bathrooms, heated towel rails, like the work it's going to be pretty full on for the next 6 weeks.
Hey, I'm gonna
But you know, I need to be finding the job 3 months ahead. So
yeah, I always think you got to have your feet in the sand. So you got to know where you're at and capability and capacity, but your head's got to be 6 months in. Like you need, and this is where like I know service work's more profitable, but far out if someone's going to hand you repeat work, like a builder, commercial client, industrial client, it's a no-brainer to have that come in. Hey, I want to ask Heath how he sort of powered through your stage, because I think it's interesting from you because you're pushing into that next stage. But before I do, Willman, what is your hot switchboard tip for someone pushing through the rank? Like, let's just say everything's like you're about to mount it to the wall, cabling's there, you're only thinking about mounting and fitting off. What's your you have to pick like 3 to 4 tips.
I have a beautiful tip for this.
Yeah. What?
I like Unistrut actually for mounting switchboards if you can get away with it. Yeah, I'll Unistrut up the wall and mount the board to the strut, and then you've got something to bring the tray down onto as well.
Yeah, and then fitting it off. What's your hot tip to keep it neat, sexy,
for a chassis board?
Yeah, let's say there's a chassis there.
I like there's these little. Everyone's seen the sticky back.
Sticky backs.
Sticky back. I like cable tie mounts.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cable tie mounts. If you can put them in, you can tie all your red, black. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Check the inside.
Yeah,
I literally done one the other day.
Yeah. My tip was always get as much done on the ground as you can.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Put all your RCBOs in, run all that cabling as neat as you can. You know. And if you want to go real big dog, you can put like some industrial style duct.
Yeah,
That is
almost like a PLC board. Like
we've done that. Like we've built the board. I've had the boys 2 ways. Like they've put the ducting in, done all the RCBOs like within the shed, and had it all like ready to go. And then they've brought all the cables in. But hot tip for chassis boards is you wire backwards. So you wire bottom up, don't wire top down. So you bring all your cables, make them more sexy, like you said, in your colours. You wire bottom breaker first and up because you can never make it past those first ones when you start working it down. You got a 70 pole switchboard. Yeah. It's insane. The speed, like I got this one here. This one took me like 2 hours, and like that's like been wiring it backwards.
Yeah.
So one side the other boy's done. I've done the neat side.
Give me the phone. I'll hold it.
Oh no, it's not even that good. It's all right. So Phil done one side, and then he got the shit to me and said, "That's it. I'm gonna go redo my side." But a massive thing I've always done is wire it back, bottom up. So you wire like from the bottom breaker. You've got all your cables. You have on the side. You wire bottom breaker, bring it in nice. Next breaker, nice, next breaker. But if you wire first, you've got to make it past all these bulges of cable to get to your bottom, and never ends up good.
Yeah, and I don't know what those new Clipser ones are like, but those built boards, Tommy got us one of those built boards. Obviously, they're din rail, not chassis, but the depth of them.
Yeah,
so
crazy,
good. The difference depth makes, like, wow. How are those Clipser boards, the new ones? Have you?
I haven't wired one. No, I haven't wired one.
Yeah.
I tried to have a sticky beacon 40s one at the shed, but he's got locks on it, lockout lid. So he's got locks on it. I couldn't open the door.
Yeah, and I love the awareness he's bringing to that, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm literally wearing his shirt.
New age, I love it. Yeah. So good. Hey, Heath. So, what advice have you got? So, obviously, you're at the stage now where there's five on the tools. Plus Bubby. Yeah, and then you've got Simone in the office. So you're kind of boosting, you're doing petrol stations and the O'Brien glasses and that Rosebery fit out. So you got like a lot of stuff going on. What's like what advice would you give someone 12 months ago? So what advice would you give yourself 12 months ago for like finding work, and what would you do differently or better or or what would you do like more of?
Yeah, I would always like why I had a little chuckle when he goes, "Oh, just too busy." Like the hardest thing I'm finding now, which is it's nice that it's hard, is that I was talking to Nick, like I'm finding it so hard to because I'm in the office 3 days a week and then 2 days on the tools. I find it hard to organize my own stuff, but then that also tells me it's hard because I'm also still calling ahead. Like you can't, like you always say, you can never be too comfortable with how busy you are, like because that work will always end. Like it'll always end at one point, and then you'll have nothing. And like what happened back in the day was I'd be so caught up in this job that we would finish the job so good, and then we'd have days and days and days. It was like a week of no work, and I'll just eat that profit. And then I'm on to the next thing, and then all of a sudden I'm busy again, and then I'm eat that profit. Like it would always happen. So yeah, it's like the hardest. It's always going to be hard. There's no easy way, but it's always like forward. Like what's the next thing that's going to come? What's this? What's that? Like that's how it is meant to feel in business. And I think that before when I was doing these jobs and obviously the foster job was a massive stuff up, but that was also because I wasn't busy. So if I would have been thinking forward, I wouldn't have even taken the job. But yeah, that's like my thing is like it's actually always going to be hard. Like it's no matter how, and I said to Nick today, I can't whinge about it. It's just for me at the moment, it's the hardest point because I'm still on the tools. I need the extra tradie to get me fully off the tools. But even then, it's still going to be hard because then I'm going to be full steam calling people and chasing the next thing. It's never going to be like that chill sort of. Yeah, I feel like when you chill, you die. Essentially.
I reckon it took 8 to 10 years for me to be like chill.
Yeah.
And then we had our clients out of work. We were making good money. I knew I didn't want to boost to the moon.
Yeah.
And I think what I was saying to you before, Willman, about what's your 10-year vision or whatever, I don't think you know yet.
No,
like you
changes.
don't know if you're going to have kids, you don't know what kind of kids you're going to have, you don't know what the future's going to bring. You just don't know. Like, and I think that some of our members are the most unlikely 20 staff people I've ever met. They're just super chill, real relaxed, and they just landed some clients that now they need 20 people. And they've got good clients. So, but yeah, how do you go about, Heath, how do you go about meeting people? Like, you're obviously quite
like my sales thing.
Yeah. Like, how would you?
Like, honesty and transparency. So, like, massive thing for me at the moment is, like, how much for fans? It's exactly that. Like, it's exactly like, I get those calls. Like, I do get those calls, and I'm just like, nah. Like, I'll just be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I was just thinking like a lot of my best relationships were built off me actually saying, oh, well then just get someone else to do it. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Like, especially the builder now that like he's not doing it anymore. But we've still like retained a lot of his clients. And they will only go to me because it's like, you know, we'll go to a site and we'll do some job and then I'll send them an audit for like, hey man, this is really unsafe. Like it really needs to be looked at. I'm like, I don't have to do it. I don't care. Just you need to get it sorted for like your workspace. You know what I mean? They're like, no, you come and do it. So rather than just kind of saying it, being like, oh, it's a bit dodgy, but I'm not going to say nothing to upset them. I'm kind of opposite because I'm like, well, it's actually very unsafe. So yeah, honesty and transparency, and like people will say, oh yeah, I want like a Sonos system and I want this here and I want this here. And I'm like, do you actually though? Like it's just a home cinema. Like my clients are doing very low home cinemas.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's like, okay, look, we could do that, but it's going to cost an extra, few grand. Oh, okay, I didn't know it was going to be that. It's just an extra speaker. It's like, well, no, it's an extra amp or it's an extra this or it's an extra that. And they're like, oh, nah, we'll just do it in here then. And kind of saying those things that automatically you kind of get the job because then you give them the price and they're like, yeah, that's cool. But if I just run with that and I'm like, yeah, we'll do that and we'll add this and we'll add that, and then you give them a price for 30 grand, you just don't hear from them.
Or worse off, you do the work that they say yes to and then send them a bill for 30 grand. And then they're like, that's what happens to a lot of people starting out. They think because people are excited that it's a yes. And it might be a yes emotionally, but a yes financially and emotionally are two different things. Like there's lots of things that I would like to do tomorrow that I can't.
I think you've got to have empathy with your clients.
Yeah.
To just be honest with them and say, look, that PowerPoint in that position is great. Like if you want it, but it's going to cost me $2,000 because I've got to do this, this, and this. you got to educate them to know, the trade, because they don't understand what goes into our job.
And I've had that. Like I've said, like, look, let's just go for this. And then they might call me and say, hey, it's actually not priced too bad. Could I actually add those other things? I'm like, yeah, okay, we can add that now. And then it's like another $4,000. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. But I just found with, just me being honest, like I can know my client enough to be like I said, it's more the people, like, you know, it's just a normal, like, flat screen TV or a projector, like, with Sonos. Like, you know what I mean? I know them enough to be like, you don't need a Rylec setup. I'm not going to go, call Rylec and, like, you know what I mean? I just know they're not after that.
Oh, somewhere along the way, Tommy's throwing his flat white out the window. He's not like, you got that at home cinema?
Yeah, that's what I feel sucks at that. But,
No, but it's true. Like, not everyone, that's a boutique setup.
Yeah.
That is for the 1% of people.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And they probably use it 1% of the time.
Yeah, most people would be happy with a Sonos soundbar and an amp.
But that's how I run anyway. Like, just honest, and like I actually done my first job. Like, yes, it is for a friend of mine, but he's building a new house, and they were like, it's a fair setup. And I've had my first, like, literally showed them like the Beastmaster, or not the Beastmaster, but showed them like the quote checker, and I said, this is your quote. I know yous, and yous are going to change things. So this is your quote. And I'm going to show you, like, I'm going to be completely, like, you can check it. And as long as I'm at, like, you know, 20 to 30% profit, I'm good, right? So I project it's going to be X amount. I think you're actually going to end up this amount. That's up to you guys. Like, I'll show you as you go. And it's funny, their reaction was like, this is amazing. Like, this is so good. And like, funny enough, they even looked and goes, oh, you don't actually make that much profit on the job, do you? And I'm like, well, I can if you want. Like, no. Like, but they're like just saying, like, you know, you might see a $40,000 quote and think I get 20. It's like, no, I don't. But like his wife said to me, if every trade could do this, that would make things so much easier for decisions. And I'm like, well, I can't do that with every person either. But the select people that you like, they were pretty blown away with like the look of it and how it kind of gave them, essentially it's a cost plus job, but I've given them a ballpark. It's a
cost estimation.
It's a cost estimation, and they'll know, like, they might turn and go, oh, we want this, and I'm like, yeah, cool. And then you know, put it as a rough figure, and they might go, yeah, let's not do that, let's scale that back. But they were getting, like, funny enough, they got 2 other quotes, and it was very cool to see, like, one of my biggest stuff ups on that. And I think I'd spoken to you. I spoke to the client about, hey, because you sound like you don't really know what you want, we could do a cost plus setup. And he said, and as I'm walking out, I said, like, I can get a quote across, but maybe we should just do cost plus, and I can give you a rough estimate, 30 to 40, and we can go cost plus. And he goes, oh, yeah, sounds good. And then I never heard from him. And I took that as like, oh, it's cost plus. He took it as, oh, where's my quote? So he actually thought I didn't want to do the job because I didn't send him anything. So he happened to get another quote from another Sparky who quoted him ridiculous and had like a broken down quote.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. Like, you know, it's like connect 20 amp RCB, $800. So I think, like, all these things that come out come to, you know, like $50,000. And then you had the opposite side. A guy looks at the lighting plan and goes, oh, about 20 to 25. And I'm like, oh, okay, so what data points, what cameras, what's this, what's that? And he's like, oh, he just said he'll do some like PowerPoints and whatnot. And that's the guy that was going to get the job. And I said to him, I'm like, what made you choose that? And they said, oh, well, obviously the price. And, you know, he'd done my friend's house and it turned out pretty good. I said, but you don't even know what PowerPoint's like. Is he using Iconic? Is he using, what's it? Oh, I'm not too sure. And I'm like, how? Like, it's crazy. Like, for me, that's crazy to even think of that.
Yeah, it's, you know what, it's funny because everyone gets on their high horse about pricing.
Yeah.
And it's just reality is that price is a huge factor. It's a huge factor in, you know, and I keep telling everyone, like, reference you buying a kid a bike and it's 10 grand or 5 grand and they're both swearing it's apples for apples. It's the same Mongoose 4410. Like, you're going to choose the cheaper option as a parent, as a human. Yeah, as like, you're never going more no one's trying to pay more for the same product. No matter how good your reputation is, how
Yeah.
good your quote looks, how good your website is, how good your sign writing is, no one on earth is going to try and actively pay more for something that someone else can do.
Yeah, and until
the
like
same.
this job, obviously they're paying more, like a fair bit more.
Yeah.
But he also said, like, that's because he's like, you brought me in, you sat me and my wife down, you said, you have this light plan. I don't think you need this, this, this. It's a bit silly. Let's do this, this, this. They said, that's a great idea. I gave them a marked up plan. I said, we'll use Iconic. Like, I showed them what the Iconic was. And I said, I can never, ever go to $25,000. It's physically impossible. And if that's what you're doing, you just do that. Like, that's good. Like, $250 for a fan, that's good. You do that, right?
Sounds like $25 a fan. That's what it sounds like.
And essentially they like in that moment they turned around and they said, no, just tell me your price. Like, we're not fast. Like, we know, and I've sent them the plan and now they know exactly what they're getting and they're paying more. They're not paying 50. That was a bit silly, but they're definitely not even close to 35, like 25. Do you know what I mean?
And somewhere out there, the 50 persons in a coaching company going like, they took the cheaper option. And it's
I did do because I did do a little bit of digging on the company, and like I won't name it, but look up the ABN, 3 months that they had been operating for, and the quote was quote 01. And I was like, and I sent it to my mate. I said, look, this is like it's 3 months, and this maybe they come from somewhere that maybe but, it's two guys in a partnership. And 3 months, and his quote was actually said invoice 011. And I said, have you paid them something? They said, no, it's a quote. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was a little bit like, I was a bit taken back, like how could,
I just don't think they know their pricing.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. It's funny because my friend Dave, who lives up the road, he's still waiting for an invoice from his Sparky from 15 months ago.
No, you don't.
Him up.
You can't invoice.
So I don't want to. But Dave's asked him. I had I don't want to say who this is, but it's it's like one of our clients, and I didn't know this, and he was like, oh, what do? I got this 10 grand invoice that is from 12 months ago that I haven't sent, and a 4 grand one from like June or July. And these are good clients. Like, he's worked for that client since. And I was like, I didn't know that. You just got to call them now. Just call them now and tell them what it is, and just drive there and show them. Like, open book, just like, this is what it is. And he did that. And I think he's all good. But like,
that's crazy.
It's you know what it is? I think the drama is not having a process around weekly invoices. And I know if you got like a petrol station, it might be sent on the 22nd for the end of the month. But like weekly at the latest, if possible. Even sooner, because it's like, I remember starting out, and if there was 2 wall lights to fit off, I'd be like, oh, send the invoice when we do that. And then I wouldn't book it in. And I think sending the invoice keeps everyone on the same page how much it is, and forces your hand to go and fit the wall lights off. So it's almost like a double on that whole thing.
So how much trouble am I in for doing monthly invoices on my job?
Oh, yeah. I thought you had a little bit of a gleam in your eye when you said every week. You're like, oh.
No drama.
I was doing every week on the Sydney water job that I did.
Yeah.
But this guy, because I wasn't there very much at the start, so my bills were quite small.
Yeah.
I'll just do it monthly because. But I'm doing a lot more time there at the moment.
Yeah, it's unsustainable, and you'll eventually get caught out. That's generally the rule. So my theory was like weekly. So monthly, it's all right when you're not there, but if you've got yourself, Trav, and 2 subbies, and you're boosting materials for a rough in or a fit off, you're going to rack up a serious bill in a month. Yeah. So then they might pay on the day, but you've racked up a month's, like you're carrying a month's wages for no reason. So my theory was weekly invoices keeps your cash flow pumping, keeps it right on top.
Taking on board.
Yeah, and then you use a credit card to pay your wholesaler materials, and then you get a bit more time on that. And I just thought, like, you can rack up a huge bill, and it's not an issue when you're on the tools, but as you grow the business, you imagine there's 10 of you and you're sending invoices once a month, like you're going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We're literally
it's unsustainable.
We've done like 60. Like, I went into the wholesaler and the boys laughed at me, and I said, oh, can I just grab these 3 PowerPoints? And he goes, no. And I said, oh, okay. Like, just put them on PO. And he goes, you can't have it. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And he goes, man, you're maxed. Like you're 80,000, you're maxed. And I'm like, there's no way I'm maxed. And he's like, yeah, you are. It's like 80 grand. That's it. That to send a full thing in. Like it racks up fast. That's what I'm finding now. It's like, because Nick's on a job, he just orders 15 grand. Phil orders 15 grand. I go and do 10 grand. You know, and the boys are grabbing bits and pieces. So now they've like increased it. I had to actually pay some off to like Amex it to get it. Not that I'm going home to invoice. But yeah, definitely racks up.
Yeah, it just catches you out. I remember I got really lucky. You know what happened to me? I got caught a few times, and it was my fault.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, how can I mitigate the risk of someone getting an invoice that they weren't expecting? Because that's the big thing for me is like someone should receive an invoice and be like exactly what they said it's going to be, or right where I thought it's going to be. And I think the longer you leave an invoice, the more it can be. The more amount it can be, the more they're like, I didn't know it was 40 grand. Like I would have changed my tune if it was 40 grand.
And I feel like when you do the job, like well, for me, it's like you do the job and, you know, you send the invoice a couple of days later, like the client's happy with the job. But a week later, they could have the shits of something. Then you send an invoice. So like you said to me, like don't send invoices on a Friday because no one wants an invoice on a Friday. So I literally don't.
Yeah, or at night time.
Yeah, or at night. I just do.
Send Monday 8, Monday
We
9.
do like I do Wednesdays and Mondays because I didn't want to do the Mondays because then the clients are, like we could do a $20,000 job on a Monday, Tuesday, and then invoice it 7 days later, and then the client waits another 7 days to pay it. And I just was like, nah, I'm just going to do Wednesdays, Mondays. But yeah, I don't do Fridays or I don't do at night because you haven't sitting there having your dinner. You're like, oh, that's right. Yeah.
I remember being young and sending invoices late at night, and it's just scary like that. You can either send something emotionally, which I don't like. But yeah, it's interesting. You just want no problems with the invoices and max cash flow.
Times might have been fine. Right?
Yeah, so schedule send it for 8 a.m.
for the morning. Yeah, I've done that a few times now as well. Yeah.
And Willman, you're jumping on Simpro.
I'm going to Symposium. I'm trying to jump on Simpro through a Instagram related like little.
They won't give you the onboarding for free, or so it's a $4,000 onboarding, I think.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Depends if you tell them you might join up later. They might do you a deal like they did old hspark.
Yeah, you should speak to. So for anyone listening to this, we've just launched Sparky Admin, which is funny because back to the sales point of view, we sold out our first round in like 24 hours, and it was literally trust-based selling. It was actually pretty funny. It reminded me of the electrical business. I just sent a text out and put something on our platform saying, hey, we're doing this. And everyone's like, yeah, sweet. Like, cool. It was actually but it's actually a good product. So it was quite easy to sell.
So I saw it launched. Give us what is it? What are you doing on there?
Yeah, so essentially we're scripting and setting up. So first and foremost, we audit your business and we take off your hands reconciling, pays, super preparation, and then we get everything in order for job notes and what we call day close. So
that's pretty good.
So a day close is basically like paid hours versus allocated hours. So obviously you want it to be 100%. So if you're paying 100 hours this week, you need those 100 hours to have a home. So there's obviously reasons hours don't have homes, callbacks, travel, start late, start finish kind of thing. So we want to match that up. So essentially, and then we script all your stuff and then close the day and close the week for you. So you'll get an email from us every single day saying, like, hey, and we'll chase up your job notes for you, which is a punish if you're a business owner. So we'll send you an email saying, hey, you got to order this, do this, a couple of things we can't do. I don't know how to politely say this. It's like faceless admin, all the back end admin that can be done remotely at any point. And then we provide all the training to the VAs we've got and all the training to you if anyone comes on board and does it. So it's actually amazing. Like when you see it laid out properly, if anyone wants the video, I did a little sales video on it. But that was interesting with the trust-based selling, just like putting out what it was and then it's just sold out. But it's cool. I think that's a nice way to sell something when you know it's good though. Yeah. But essentially auditing people's, this is what I was getting to. Cam's been through this week and auditing everyone's business, and he's found the two job management systems we'll major on, Simpro and Fergus. And obviously ServiceMate looks a little bit cooked. Cam would be a better person to talk about this than me, but he said he's found huge problems with the integration and automation and the general setup. It's taken like twice as long as it would on Simpro. And I guess we've got Simpro trainers in-house, and we've got Tommy on Fergus like in-house as well. So we can major and double that. I think Fergus doesn't do the numbers recording that Simpro does, but Fergus combined with our spreadsheet, how we run things, will be well sufficient. So should look into that.
Which is a much more cost-effective option.
Yeah, much more cost-effective. But Fergus basically does everything we need it to do, and so does Simpro to release the back-end admin properly. So, and Tom said there, I haven't dealt with them before. Cam's been back and forthing with those guys, but from all reports, they've been super cool. And Tom said they're awesome to deal with.
Yeah, the last company I was with Fergus, and then changed to Simpro, just because it's like they grew like huge.
And tell them about that experience.
It was horrible.
Yeah, actually, I want to...
From an employee point of view, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Because I think the Simpro app, as an employee, sucks. It's like really hard to use.
Yeah.
But I totally understand why they did it for the reasons. Like, I didn't see the back end at my old company, but like I could definitely understand why they needed to do it. But I still don't think they were using it. Like, I don't think anyone uses it to full power.
Yeah, I think Cam's dialed it, because Cam had a situation where he was in a company that was paperless, and then they crossed a Simpro, and he said it was an absolute train wreck. So when he started CRM, he was like, I'm going to implement Simpro from the outset, so we never have to change.
Yeah.
Didn't want that change, which I fully appreciate and get. And then, but Tommy's grown his business, so what is he, like 15 to 20 staff off Fergus, although he would do a lot more project stuff than the service staff. But it seems to counteract in different ways. But I mean, there's no substitute for Simpro, but you're going to pay for it. That's the short and long of the whole thing. But that's where we want to, in the Sparky admin, that's where we want to fill the gap, because Simpro will get you on board and train you. And I'm doing the Dr. Evil laser for anyone listening.
Well, they said they'd do like the full onboarding or the online onboarding, which was like 1/4 of the price. I'm like, I want that clearly price based.
Yeah, I've never heard of the online.
Yeah.
Is that must be new?
The guy told me about it when.
Well, like Zooms?
Yeah, I did a Zoom.
But Zoom training? That's what I done.
And then,
It was like his website or a PDF, and you can search up what you need to do. And I was like, I'll just work it out myself.
So self-implemented. But that's what we want to hit the gap, where there's a gap where Simpro will say set you up, and then there's a huge gap between that and then how you need it to operate.
Oh yeah.
So we want to fill that gap too, because I think everyone's not using their job management system properly, or they're using it to like 10% of their capacity.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say that. Like I was gonna say, even though you want to do it yourself, I could probably imagine the big man over there would be like, you shouldn't be learning that yourself. You should definitely be getting trained in that, because that's like that. Or just come like hang out with me or Nick,
that's what
and we'll show you, man. Like that would be the fastest way.
The guys in the group said that there was like some Simpro whizzes.
Yeah,
that you can get to come in.
You can pay them, and it's cheap, and they're
good.
Yeah, I've heard they're a lot better.
There's some Simpro gurus, and I mean that's what Cam's
a guru, man.
With Remna. So that's why we have help desk every day, so people can sit with so Cam's sitting with Joe's at the moment. Bremner, shout out to the big dog. Love that guy, by the way.
Good dude.
A big dog.
He's a big dog. I think he's 6'3", 6'4".
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
I was like laughing because like I saw him and I was like, "Jeez, Christ, you're big." And then he's like looking at me and he's like, "You're so dense, bro." I was like, "What?"
Did you see him do his high kick?
Yeah, he tried to kick me. Yeah, he was showing me. It was pretty impressive.
I'm not sure if he can do the splits, but close enough. But so Cam's sitting with Bremner at the moment, and his admin team assisting, helping their Simpro integration. There's because there's just such a gap there, and once it's operating, it's operating. It's one of those things that set aside some time. Yeah, it's going to cost you time, but like, it's that back-end business stuff that's one and done.
Scripts and that, scripts are massive.
Huge. So what do you reckon you'll do? Will you look into Fergus? Or you go Simpro?
Sure. I'm not sure.
Depends how much Simpro...
well, look,
Butter the bread.
I'll be completely honest. Simpro's paying me to go to Symposium. I did a little wheel for him, like a promo wheel for the Symposium last week. and they're paying me to go to their event in Sydney. I think it's on Thursday this week coming.
That's cool.
So I'm
Yeah.
just going to go in and
See it.
rub shoulders. I think I'm meeting the CTO.
Cool. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And they just want me to post a couple of stories. They're paying me quite well for it.
So what is your and when
But I actually reached out to them and said, "Oh, can we do like a dip?" Because I saw a couple other Instagram people do like a Simpro reel, like a little ad sort of for them, and I was like, "Oh, if they're happy to do ads," because I've never seen them do any Instagram stuff because they're the big dog, right? As far as I was concerned. But they did it with a couple other people, and I was like, oh, I just messaged them. I was just sometimes I'm like, hey, like, do you ever do this? And I kind of just wanted a discount, like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe, you know, for doing like a post every now and then. But that's what Tradify offered me. But I didn't want to do the amount of posts that they wanted.
Yeah, I think
That's how I'm on Tradify. Like they actually offered it to me, and I started using it. And then I just told them, I'm like, it's just too much extra work to do the amount of posts. I didn't want every like third post on my page to be a Tradify ad either, so I just started paying for it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with that because like we get it a bit in the coaching world, like people give you money for stuff, and I'll only do it if I'm like, I actually had a real issue with it when we first came into because coming from tradie land, like you give everyone work and no one like it's just a because you like people, right? Like,
Yeah, you want to see people do well. So you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you're passing your plumber mate work, your builder mate work, and that's just what you do. But coming into this world where you have like an element of influence, and you know, I'm really conscious of like I'll only push something if I will never push something. I'll promote it if I'm like I fully believe in that product, which is cool, like because that's what you want to be anyway, right? Like,
yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
There's been a couple of things over the years with like I've been sent something and I've just been like, even you guys pulled one up on me, that outlet. You remember that one?
What was the outlet?
A while ago?
What one?
Oh, it was basically like DIY. It was a DIY friendly.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up doing the thing on it. They haven't messaged me back about it, but it was relatively inexpensive. But I was just going to install it and like do a video for it. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was essential.
The booklet came and it was like step by step how to do this yourself, and I was just like, this isn't.
Yeah, like you're kind of promoting as a Sparky, do it yourself. That's pretty wrong.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the messages, and I was like, this isn't cool. And no, they posted a video.
They posted a video.
How you do it? Like these are the tools you need. This is how you do it.
Scary.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. I think they said they pulled that video down.
They did.
You know, it's like
the damage is done at that point.
That's
right?
the attitude.
Yeah.
But then in the booklet, it was very similar. It was like, open the book, it's like, this is how you do it. It's like, Sparky doesn't need a DIY on how to replace a PowerPoint with a different PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
crazy.
So,
Hey,
yeah, and others have been like a bit annoyed or annoying after the fact. Like they'll send something and I'll do something, they'll be like, oh, were you going to do more? And I'm like, no.
Talking about like stage 5 clingers, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's been, and I've had to tell people, like, just send me a package and I'll send you your own back. I'm not that invested in it.
Yeah,
I buy a lot of stuff already. I don't need, like, some of the random weird stuff that I get sent.
yeah. Exactly.
Also, sometimes there's like a 30 email thread going back and forth about what exactly they want, and I'm like, this is not worth it.
No.
I would rather just, like, work a bit, like, on my business than do this.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a time sink sometimes.
And your followers like follow you because you're honest, right? Like in that they expect an element of authenticity at that point. Hey, on that Instagram transition, how do you guys do all your vids yourself?
Depends. Like I've got a videographer, and sometimes like I just have like this. No, this videographer and like it just depends what job it is. Like so.
Do you pay him like a retainer or
No. Like I just call him and say like, hey man, I want a job done soon. He's definitely, he would never listen to this, but wouldn't care. He's definitely expensive, but he's so good. And he literally says to me like, oh, let's get as much, like, don't just book me for a day. Like book me for a day. Let's do like 6 reels and let's do like 2 projects, so then it's worth your money. Because he'll say, like, he gets like flown over like Canada for CrossFit, like all this stuff, does these insane videos. It's just my mate, and I'm like, well, I don't want to use someone else. Like, you're a friend of mine. So
does he charge you? Does he do it like if he comes out the site, will he edit it and put that together as well?
yeah, so he just sends me a thing. Essentially, we do like a day rate, and then like he'll say, oh, let's do like 3 funny reels, and then and then I'll say, okay, we'll do like 3 reels, and then we'll go, all right, let's go to a project and get like a nice one of a project that we're doing, and then he'll obviously put that together and then do the 3 reels, like the funny reels, and then send it all through. But yeah, I haven't used him for a bit. The only things I'm going to use him for is like that, some funny reels, and then like the fuel station. Hopefully, like, we can tee it up where that thing gets lit up, and like, they're not serving customers yet, and I can get him in to do a thing of it, because that'll be like a massive thing for us. And then probably same as Roseberry, like I'll get him on that. But like, other than that, I don't get him.
Yeah, and you cut your videos yourself?
Yeah.
What on CapCut?
No, I actually, if I'm editing more than a little bit, I will put it on the computer and edit it on the computer. I find it a little easier to not like get.
But what app are you using?
CapCut for me. On the computer, CapCut. Yeah, desktop.
I use one called Shop. It was free.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It was just a free one, because there was heaps, and it's relatively simple. It's probably a little too simple, actually, but it works. So.
Yeah, no, interested to see, because you can save so much money bringing it in-house, but then...
Oh, yeah, all my normal ones are.
Yeah, but the droney sort of overview of the video that's actually going to go out on Insta for your clients to see. It's pretty
And that's,
cool.
that's what I was going to say. That's like the only things that I pay for, essentially, are the ones that, like, it's nothing to do. It's just for my own viewing, to be like super proud of the job. Mm-hmm. And I definitely like would love to like do it all myself, but it's like horses for courses. Like, he comes out, he just like is a freak, you know what I mean? Does all the transitions and whatnot. And I just want certain ones like that are really professional. Like you said, put them on your website, customer sees it, but everything else is CapCut. YouTube is CapCut. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to know how to do yourself, but then know when to pay. It's that opportunity cost of like, that kind of stuff. So, and see, all right, in wrapping up, what would your...
He just got nervous. You remember Nick?
We literally just in the car. We're gonna do. I'm gonna pick.
Nick goes, so what's your
final wrap up?
What's your final wrap up? And we both just went.
And we're like, yeah, we're definitely gonna think of one on the car ride.
I said, drink OxyShred. No.
No, but if you had like one opportunity, it might be something we said today or something that's been on your heart, mind, thoughts recently. Like, what encouragement would you have to someone? What's your biggest, learning in business, or just something cool to like part wisdom to the crew?
I think that you need to find a little group like that we've sort of found, and have people that you can bounce ideas off, and they just unequivocally want you to succeed in whatever you're doing. And those people are like hard to find, but you need to find something like this. This has been really good. It's been really good for me.
Yeah, and that I'm pumped for you guys. Like, hopefully you come to the live event too, because that's what I felt like after the live event. And then even seeing Hib's post, I put it on Insta today, running that sub meal group, and I'll put Tommy's one up tomorrow. What they want for that group was so cool. It was like, Hib's like, I want to see you guys push through this barrier. It's hard, and I'm like, that's so good. And Tommy's like, let's set a lifestyle goal. So when you find people around you that what's the word? That celebrate your success, that aren't intimidated by your
Because they know how hard it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Australians have a bit of a weird thing with success too. Like, if you're getting too good or going too well, people start wanting to
chop your knees off.
Take your knees out.
I don't know why, but...
It's our culture. It's our culture.
And you know what the cool thing is about culture? Like, we can change that. Like, we can change what we do in our group. So yeah, I love that. That's really cool. Find your group. Yeah. Who was your favourite person to hang out with over the weekend with the boys?
It's got to be Tommy. We stayed up till like, I think everyone else went to bed by about 12, and we just like chatted for 4.5 hours.
So
it was ridiculous.
So
we stopped at pool. I've got lots of videos of us taking a pool, but they're not going on They're not going online.
Pool's a hard game. It's not you, it's the pool table. And how about you, Heath?
Because we're still together.
You guys are still together.
I was gonna bow. I missed I missed Ailey and Reese so much. I was almost gonna bow yesterday, and I said, no, I can't do it to Willman. He's coming home with me, so I'm like, nah.
You got the same flight.
Yeah, I get the same flight. My wife's picking me up.
This time we're gonna, actually book the seats together.
Well, I had no one sitting next to me, and I was like, oh, I don't even know where Willman is.
Stuck in. I was stuck in.
I book exit seats. I don't sit anywhere else but exit.
Yeah, how tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah.
102, if you wanted to know.
I was going to ask that, actually. I
102.
didn't know if it was too much information.
No, 102, probably 105 by the end of the weekend.
Yeah. No weigh-ins. And what about you, Heath? You're obviously going through a pretty interesting stage of business. I found that the hardest one when you sort of feel like you're full-time on tools organising, and you sort of feel like you're full-time off tools organising, and it just feels like, and you're juggling that with a young family, which is huge, which might actually be your savior in a way, because it's like you can't stay in this mode.
Yeah.
Where if you don't have kids, you can sort of do whatever the hell you want, really, and work 12 hours a day and volunteer to this business. And I think when you don't volunteer and you do the numbers of not volunteering and the pathway of not, I think you can get out of there quicker because you're really aware. But yeah, what are you sort of throwing out to the people? It might not even be about that. But
yeah, something that's probably we touched on with the boys a lot in the Protect Our Sparks podcast is, and you've said it plenty of times, is partner. You gotta have a solid partner. If you don't have a solid partner, I don't see how any of it would work. And mind you, if Ree turned around tomorrow and said, no, I don't want you to work anymore, she's always number one. Her and Ailey are always number one. I would never sacrifice my relationship for my business. But it's funny because that's actually why we're together, because she knows that. She knows that wholeheartedly, so she'll support me through the whole thing. But I just think partner is the most giant shout out to the women that let us do this.
Men,
Yeah, potentially men. They're just our partners that let us do this. And I just feel like if you've started a business and it's harder than you thought and you haven't spoken to your partner, which I said this on the podcast, and you haven't spoken to them and said hey, this is so hard. I don't even know how much mental capacity I have for you. Sure, he's voice it, because sometimes I held it as a man, I'm a man, I'm not going to tell her. But as soon as I started telling her, it was a weight lifted off, and she actually felt way better. She's like, oh, I just hated me. But you know what I mean? To say I'm just owed a lot of money. I'm trying to be here. I really am, but I'm just this. And she's like, that's okay. It's okay. It's all right. But she's like, I just needed to know that because, maybe being quiet or, you know what I mean? So just having a solid partner and opening up to him and telling him how hard it is. And if they're not a solid partner, they'll leave anyways.
Yeah.
It's classic meme where the guy's rolled over on his side and he's like, this bastard owes me 50 grand. And she's like, does he hate me?
Yeah. Or all he thinks about is other women. It's the thing is, she's owing me 100K. But
he's cable tray or in wall? Cable tray.
Yeah. That's probably my takeaway, even from this weekend, completely as well. And
everyone in our group has a solid.
It's what we spoke about. We all.
Shout out to the ladies.
Yeah, shout out. We all just wanted to hang. The boys just wanted to hang with the boys. No one wanted to go out. Every second, every second conversation about how much we love our kids or how much we miss them. And for me, that was I was like, this is where I need to be. We are all going through something hard. Yeah, okay, it's a boys' weekend and there's other Sparkies messages oh, I would pay so much money to be there. It's actually not what you think. We're all just good mates.
I've had a few messages.
Yeah, people saying to 40, how do we get in? And then we're it's when there's no. It's just but that's just, huge. If you're going to do it, just a big supporting, a massive supporting partner. And if you don't know if she's supporting them, definitely speak to them about it and just say what you're trying to do. And I've told Ree, I want to retire you essentially. I never want you to work unless you want to. I never want you to work. I want Ailey to have whatever she wants. Do you know what I mean? That's just me. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. And I think when you find that drive or motivation, it's so powerful. When you got a full reason, no, I want to. Then I think the coolest thing about running a business is you can be a lot of stuff. I'm at everything with our kids, and I love it. And that's why I've done what I've done, and it's super cool. So, anyway, I'm going to double down on that, and I'm going to say, supportive partner. If you're single and ready to mingle, choose wisely. I'm not going to tell you to have a list, but choose someone who's kind and who believes in you and who's supportive and who speaks well of you and who speaks well of other people. And that's what I would suggest. And if you're in a relationship and you're not finding that gel, and you're not married, like I think you should always try and work it out if it's possible. But if it's not gelling, you're just dating, it might not be right, and that's super cool. That's fine. Like
it's the biggest financial decision of your life.
Yeah.
And running a business
the biggest mojo decision. Like, you're coming home to this person, you're waking up to this person, you deserve to be happy. You deserve peace and you deserve to be happy. And so I'm going to double down on it and say, invest into that relationship too. So it's like, it's all good to have a supportive partner and that's fantastic, but double down, like date again. And I often think like I'm at an age I'm seeing people, separate as I guess percentages would play out. But it's like, you know what? If you were to meet someone new now, you would find a way to date them. You'd go out for dinners and lunches and weekends and stuff. So do that with your current partner. Go out take them out for lunch, do something cool, breakfast. It doesn't have to be like a huge $1,000. It might be a picnic, it might be a Vegemite sandwich on a hill. Like it doesn't have to be anything major money-wise, and just find someone that would be happy with you in a tent.
Well, yeah, that's it. And I feel like to touch on that, it's like, it's not like running a business, like, I'm completely aware, like I'm not better than my wife. Like I'm not the special person because I have a business and I have this and I do that. Like it's not for me. Like I feel like I've heard friends like, well, you try running a business, you try doing this, like arguing with their wife. I'm like, it's not it. Like that's not it. You know what I mean? Like I'll get home and be completely present with Ree, and even though, like I'll go to work and like, let's just say like, cause she's had early since Friday by herself. And I feel like that's like a massive, like having the business is hard, but like you can't also use it as a deflection of like, oh, well, I'm so stressed and I'm this because of my business. Well, then don't have your business. Like if you have a solid partner, treat him solid and tell him what you're trying to do, tell him your aspirations, and then they're either going to support you or they're not going to support you. Then that's your call, what you want to do. Like I said, if Ree turned around to me and said, "Nah, throw your business in, I don't want it." Yeah, 100, let's go. I don't care, because she's the most important to me. But that's why she's the most important, because that would never happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a weird concept to think of.
Same team, right?
Yeah, same team. She knows, like she's been blowing me up about deliverables for this weekend. I'll show you the email. And she's like, how are your deliverables? Like, you got to have YouTube, you got this. And I said, I'm so sorry. I was like, I've been having so much fun with the boys that like just enjoying their company. I've done nothing. And she's like, oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
But
I've said that, but it can take away from the weekend. Like with the kids, you sort of sometimes you got to be present.
Yeah.
If you go to a concert, don't put your phone up. Just watch the band.
And that's like I've got a little bit, but yeah, just the fact that she's jumped into that, I love that, because she's like fully invested. Like she's not like, oh, you're a loser trying to do video. She's like, oh, I love it. Like it's so cool that you're trying to do that.
It is cool, man. I think anyone putting themselves out there, I love it.
Even with you, she goes, you can't leave. You got to do Corey's podcast. She said you would, and I'm like, fuck, you're solid, eh? Like, you just, I mean, she's not like, yeah, come home, as much as she wants me there. She said, I want you so bad, but like, you told Crow you'd do it, so go do it. And I'm like, yeah. So that to me is like, that just speaks volumes. I'm like, yeah, well, of course, yeah, I'll do it.
That's super.
Yeah.
Teachers?
Saturday night?
Friday
night? Mate, blood everywhere. He's had 7 stitches in his head.
Staples or
no stitches?
Really?
Shout out to Willman's wife, messaged him and says, everything's okay. I'm just in hospital with Dougie, but it's all good.
Yeah,
like,
just so you know. Yeah.
He writes back, bruh.
Oh. Yeah, pretty much.
He wrote back, bruh. And there's nothing else.
See you Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's wild.
And then
weekend that you go, that would happen. And he's a psycho all the time.
Yeah, my son, we've got these old stainless doors, not stainless, like the stained glass. Old school glass, and he was riding his bike and punched it, like literally just fell off into it. And I was actually doing electrical work for my friend at the time, and he got these like nuts gashes, multiple stitches. It's crazy, so scary when kids get hurt. But shout out to the partners and women. And, wherever you're listening, be a supportive partner, a supportive friend, try and be the best dad you can be, and just grip it and rip it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on another podcast. Whatever you're doing, don't be too busy to stop and check if you're making money. And above all else, you know the rules, be kind. See you soon.